Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. To everyone, welcome to our session on the topic The Future is Now, Develop Like a Pro with GitHub Copilot. My name is Rizwan Ansari, and I'm excited here with you today. And we are going to discuss a lot more about GitHub Copilot or AI. So we have lots of word these days coming, AI will take software development job or AI to write the code to do the development. So we are going to talk about those items. So again, let me introduce myself. I'm an application development manager at Take One Global, where I'm deeply involved in software development activities and leading the software development team. So this era, fully dominated by artificial intelligence, and from last I think 1.5 years we are hearing a lots of AI words and lots of applications, Chat GPT, OpenAI, Copilots. We find its presence almost every facet of our life, from our daily systems to the tools we use, irrespective of any domain. If you go into medical services or marketing or sales, IT, construction business, every business AI has a sense of AI in almost every sector, and AI has become a silent force and taking all the manual and repetitive tasks, transforming the way we work. Furthermore, it's seamlessly integrated in our routines, recommending optimal choices, expediting the process, and so much. So breadth of AI application has expanded to touch virtually every product and services. And importantly, tech companies are on the relentless journeys. They are exploring the AI, its use cases, its capacity, its potential, so that we can utilize the capabilities into our solution to elevate the user experience. This brings us particularly exciting prospect, the immense impact. You will see the immense impact of AI, especially in the software development and IT business. In fact, AI can be our copilot in every phases in terms of software development, starting from requirement gathering, analyzing, building, designing, testing, deploying, managing, or supporting. Almost every phases of software development, AI can be our assistant, and it can help a lot with our manual job. So GitHub Copilot, AI assisted development. At the same time, in this world of software development or Gen AI, it's very important to deliver the thing faster, so we can take the advantage of AI to write the code, to do the fixing, to improve the code quality, to do the better delivery. And in this uh, 1 hour, we are going to talk a lot about this, and we will take a closer look, understand every features of GitHub Copilot, how we can use this tool in our daily day-to-day software development. We will guide you on how we can get started, whether you are a seasoned developer or just getting started, or even if you are a student. GitHub Copilot can help you with every level of software engineer, even if you are a beginner or a student, or you are a highly experienced software developer. So here we have a later, we will deep dive into the AI GitHub Copilot, how to get started. We'll do some demo with the real world cases. We'll do some examples and so on. So these are the agenda of this today's session. In this session, we have exciting line of topics. First, we will delve into the background of AI and how software development is getting impact. What are the different AI copilots? We are in the age of copilots, and we will talk about GitHub Copilot, its capabilities. We will do then get started with the demonstration, and furthermore, we will comprehensively grasp the GitHub Copilot and its evolution, this groundbreaking tool. So we will then check out its main features and also explore its diverse range of application. Following that, we will also elucidate the pricing model, will ensure that clear understanding how GitHub Copilot can fit into different scenarios. Then not only that, we will also spotlight on the GitHub Copilot Chat. We'll understand its role and collaborating and writing the code, how AI can be your coding partner. So in addition to that, we are also going to explore how GitHub Copilot can be a game changing tool that can be used in the every phases of software development. So I'll not take much time on this. I'll like to go into GitHub. I'll discuss about AI and software development. So throughout my career, I have got privilege to work on variety of project, and I have 12 plus of years experience. So what I have seen in last I mean 1 to 2 years, AI has impact hugely, and mostly it has impacted IT business as well as software development on that. So AI has augmented the software development, and AI has impacted every phases of software development. We can do automation starting from software requirement, analyzing, code generation, error detection, fixing bugs, documenting your code, testing, or deployment. It can also help you to scan the vulnerabilities libraries to understand the security concern. And most of the developer we have seen those still we are following the old version of code, so it can help us to convert those code into newer version optimized way, also from one language to another language. So overall it has a huge potential in terms of software development. And AI copilots, we know in the real meaning of copilot is assist the main pilot during the flight. Now imagine having AI by your side for everything you do. Copilot is not just a tool, it's your AI partner and ready to assist with you every task that you are doing. With Copilot, you can work smarter, be more productive, boost creativity. You can stay seamlessly connected to the people and things in your life. It is your intelligent companion that can adapt to your needs and work everything for you. So, saying that we can say we are in the era of AI copilots where AI has disrupted the market. We have different types of copilot. Considering copilots, we have copilot in Microsoft Copilot. Microsoft 365 has a different copilot. Copilot is available for Power Apps, Power Automate. Copilot is also available in Windows, Fabric. It is also coming for Viva Sales. It's also available in Microsoft Azure. So all these copilots are there. It comes with on a specific job. Like for example, the copilot in Azure cannot do the job of GitHub Copilot or Copilot 365. So each copilot is trained with their particular data set, and they have their particular job. So one copilot cannot handle the all kind of job. That's why we can say like it has their own specific task. Now, with that, I'd like to, in this session, we are going to dig down into GitHub Copilot. It's a copilot that can help you to write the code, right? Starting from the conversation on your code base, whether you are hunting down a bug, designing a new feature, whether you are stuck, GitHub Copilot is there for you. AI companion that can help you to fix all those issues. And it has been proven that developer productivity has accelerated uh, by 55% according to the GitHub data. Now I would like to welcome Miss Satya Karke. She will be going to highlight on and share about more and comprehensive on the GitHub Copilot. So Satya, now you may can continue.
Thank you, Rizwan. Hello, everyone. I'm Satya Karki. I'm Senior Application Developer. With that, I'm Microsoft MVP, CSAP Corner MVP, and Microsoft Certified Trainer. Professionally, I'm software developer, and I have nearly 12 years of professional experience in software development and data. Now let's start. What is GitHub Copilot? Let me give you the insight about the GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot is a tool that uses artificial intelligence to assist the developers in suggesting and writing the code based on the context in a real time, based on the program and the context where you are coding. Based on that, it suggests the code for your program. It was first announced by GitHub on 29th June 2021, and it is powered by OpenAI Codex. GitHub Copilot uses the OpenAI's Codex language model, which has been trained on a massive dataset of the public code repositories. It is trained on all languages that appear in a public repositories. For each language, the quality of the suggestion you receive may depend on the volume and the diversity of the training data available for that languages. For example, JavaScript is well represented in a public repositories and is one of the GitHub Copilot's best supported languages. Languages with less representation in a public repositories may produce fewer or the less robust suggestion, and the accuracy of the code suggestion can vary based on the language popularity and the diversity of the examples available during the Copilot's training. For languages with fewer publicly available repositories and the uses, Copilot may not provide as a precise or reliable suggestions compared to the more mainstream languages and the popularly available languages in the public repositories. You can get Copilot extensions for Visual Studio Code, Vim, NeoVim, and the JetBrains Suite for IDEs, and the Azure Data Studio. It is the world's most widely adopted AI developer tool. Furthermore, GitHub Copilot Chat is a part of the GitHub Copilot, uh, using which you can chat and get the prompt response for your query. GitHub Copilot Voice is another part of the GitHub Copilot, which is very useful for those who have a difficulty to the type and get the suggestions from the Copilot for their program. So they can just ask questions and get a response quickly. Now let's come what's GitHub Copilot can do. GitHub Copilot suggests the code completions and as a developer type and turns the natural language prompt into the coding suggestions based on the project's context and the style convention, whatever the style and the pattern you follow in your program. Based on that pattern, it gives the suggestions for you. It optimizes the code and provides the better performance for your programs. We can identify the bug and provide the fixes using the GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot generate the code documentations also. If you need to write any code documentations, you can just ask the GitHub Copilot to provide the documentations for their code. GitHub Copilot suggests the code, functions, classes, or the entire program. You can ask when you are stuck with a bug or designing a new feature. Beside this, we can use the GitHub Copilot to generate the unit test. We can optimize the SQL queries, optimize your method functions, and also it can explain your code and the program. If you are new to the any project and you don't know what does this function do, what does this classes do, you can just select and ask with the GitHub Copilot to explain what does this program do. Then you will get an idea what is this, why this code is written and what's the this method do. So if you are new and your senior developer or the previous developer has done any program, you can just ask with the GitHub Copilot and get the insight about that program. GitHub Copilot Enterprise is another part of the GitHub Copilot. Many big software firm enterprise company has their own coding standard, pattern, platform, libraries, templates, and the design. They have their own guide and the documents. They follow their own coding pattern and the standard for their product or the application development. So for that purpose, Copilot Enterprise is there. We can train the model based on your private repositories, personalize the answers that are grounded in your organization's documentations with inline citations. Also keeps the track of your work, suggestions, suggests the description, and helps reviewers regions about your changes, about your pull request summaries. We can use the Copilot Enterprise for the private repositories or the enterprise companies which follows their own pattern of the coding. They have when they have their own standard for that purpose, they can use the Copilot Enterprise. GitHub Copilot Chat is another part of the GitHub Copilot. We can ask, it provides a chat interface that lets you interact with the GitHub Copilot, and we can ask and receive answers to the coding related questions within github.com and the supported IDEs. It answers based on your core context, as I said earlier, and it's a combination of the natural language processing and machine learning to understand your questions and provide you answer with an answer. You can ask a wide range of questions related with the syntax, programming concept, describe the code fixing, debugging, test cases, unit tests, refactor, optimization, validation, and the many more other purposes. You can ask a wide range of the questions for your program. Meaning we don't need to navigate to the internet for the solutions or the sample documentations, code repositories, or the other online forums. We can ask the question and the chat with the GitHub Copilot inside our development IDs or the code editors, and we can get the solutions within the it. We don't need to redirect to the any forum or the any internet sources. And it's a part of the GitHub Copilot and comes with a GitHub Copilot. Now let's come to the features and the capabilities what the GitHub Copilot can do. GitHub Copilot provides intelligent code completions and suggestions. It has the capabilities of contextual understanding. It supports the various languages. It has extensions for most popular IDEs and the editors. We can generate the unit test cases using it also, so we don't need to write the unit test cases for our program. We can use the GitHub Copilot for this. It explains the code and the suggestions for the improvements. It proposes the code fixes if you need any kind of the fixing for your code. If there is any bug and you need to fix, you can just ask the GitHub Copilot and fix it instantly. Besides this, we can use it in answering the coding related questions. Additionally, we can use for the code documentations. As I already said, we can use for the code documentation also. And it is a chat based and it supports the natural language for our understanding. So it's easy to use and it is accessible for the developers of the all level. So whether you are senior, junior, or just a beginner, you can use it and you can get the knowledge and you can do your coding with it. It can be used in customizations with our own documents, processes, and the code repositories as well. So to get started with the GitHub Copilot, how we can integrate the GitHub Copilots with our favorite IDEs such as Visual Studio Code, NeoVim, Visual Studio, and JetBrains IDEs. For Visual Studio Code, we have to install the GitHub Copilot extension to get started. So you can go to the extensions and there you can search the GitHub Copilot. Then you will get options to install the GitHub Copilot and you can utilize the GitHub Copilot inside the Visual Studio Code. However, for the Visual Studio, GitHub Copilot is a part of the Visual Studio. So we can install the GitHub Copilot as a individual components through the Visual Studio installer as seen in this screen. Earlier, we need to install as extensions, but now we can install the Visual Studio. We can install the GitHub Copilot in a Visual Studio as an individual component. So to get started with a GitHub Copilot, you need to sign into your GitHub account and get a Copilot subscriptions. Then you need to add a Copilot extension in your code editor or the IDE. So there are some tips to improve the Copilot chat results that helps to improve the code quality with the AI assistance. To improve the chat results, we can use the slash command to quickly specify the common tags like a slash explain to get the code explanation, scope the chat to specific files using the references, review the source used by the Copilot to generate the answer. We can use the different threads for each of your Copilot chats, so you can maintain the different context in each. Furthermore, we can use a command for the common tags such as slash doc for the documentation, slash explain to get the explanation of the code, slash fix to get the suggestions for the code fixings. If you need, if there is any bug and you need to fix it, then you can just type ask with the GitHub Copilot and type slash fix to get the suggestion for your fixing. Similarly, for the optimizations or the modifications, you can use the slash optimize for optimizing the code. For a help, you can use the slash help and so on. We can debug the app with the GitHub Copilot and get the error, exception, stacks, and the any other informations to correct and fix it as well. Additionally, Copilot provides the detailed information in the CPU uses, auto insights. It provides the detailed information and the insights for specific methods and properties, such as string.concat and many other methods. With Copilot, you can ask the questions about the functions on the identified hot path in your code, which you can help you to produce a more efficient or the cost effective code and helps to improve your code quality for your program. Copilot has access to the exception, call stack, local variables, and the code by asking the good questions about the questions based on the relevant exception data that you have attend the exception. Copilot Chat can provide useful insights and fixes for the issue. So for the fixes, you can just ask and get the suggestion. Furthermore, Copilot understands the call stack frame, variable names, and the values. As a result, you can pose the detailed questions to the debugger-aware Copilot. Now we'll go for some examples and the demonstrations. I would like to hand over to the Rizwan for demonstrations on the GitHub Copilot, how we can utilize it within our IDEs and how developers can get the benefit from it. So now Rizwan, over to you.
Thank you, Satya. Thank you for giving a comprehensive and detailed introduction about GitHub Copilot. As Satya explained, it can do a lot, not more than just writing a code. It can do validations, documentation, rectification, bug fixing, unit test. It can improve the code quality and performance, which we will see now in our slide. So let me go to the demo slide. Now, in order to get started, earlier already Satya says we have a few prerequisites. That means we need to have a GitHub Copilot account. On top of that, we need to have the subscription for GitHub Copilot, which comes with the cost. It has a three different subscription model. Either you can go with the individual, business, or enterprise. For today's session, we will be doing a demo with Visual Studio, which will be exactly same for the Visual Studio code. Now let me share you my code. So this is one solution I created, and it has nothing much. It is just one of the default structure, and it can be different according to the project. This is what I have created one a sample, for instance, to show the GitHub Copilot capabilities. Now uh, this is one of my project, that is blog API. I'll be developing an API, and it has a module called article. So in the article model, what I want to generate the properties or this class GitHub Copilot create a name class article with 10 properties and values. It gonna do? Let's see. Yeah. So it has created a class and also it has assigned the default values. Now I have instructed or I have given a kind of command to create a 10 properties and I did not specified any name. Now if you have any specific name, for example you want to include particular properties, you can just mention okay create 10 properties including few properties. It depends upon how you are writing the command. It's like a prompt engineering. So the will explain prompt will be understand better and it can give a better result. So I created my model. Now I'll go and create my database site. So what I'll go here and I'll create an application. So I just create a default TP application and I have already added all the necessary libraries required. So here I'm going to use Entity Framework. Now, if you want to use ADO.NET or any other uh, uh, any other libraries to communicate with your database, that's fine. You can use any one of those. But for my text, yes, and what I will do now after that. Yeah, it has given me suggestions for my DB context application DB context class. I have an entire class and it suggested me the DB set for article also. Now here what is the thing we have to understand? Um, this GitHub Copilot has capability to understand your code and suggest based on what you are writing code. For example, I have a model article, it understood and it created the DB set accordingly. So that's how it works. I'll create a repository class. So this is my article repository. I'll just let me see what it's suggesting without writing any command now. It understand it is a repo class, so I might need a class to get the articles. So let me check what it has says. I'll just tap. It suggested me my all the class like get articles async, get article by id, create, and then get article delete. Also it has added some additional functions like get articles by category, get articles by tag name, um, get article by author, delete article by date and time, a lot of any additional features. So why it has done this? Because in the earlier of some of my code I was doing those things, so it understand maybe I need this kind of functions by default and it suggested me. So it suggested me unpublished, published, everything I can get using this one. So you can see almost I got all my repository class without writing a single line. I just need to place the enter, it understand and it get me all the things that I needed. So that's how this Copilot is. It will understand your context and based on that it will provide you the code. And if you need something specific, you just need to write a command. What you can do, you can just write here command, okay, create a method to get article not deleted. I'll not use this one. Create a method get article get okay get let's say active articles using using stored procedure. Use a stored procedure. So let me check how it suggests me in that case. Sometime it might take time to suggest you the code, so we just need to wait, or maybe it did not understand my. It does here, and now it has used. Oh, it has given me. So I can use context from raw SQL. It is one command available. I can execute this in my stored procedure and I can get the list. Now, if I have any other perspective, or if I want to use ADO.NET, that also I can write. Okay, create the method using store procedures with parameters. Okay, this is also I can create. Then it has used the parameter as well. Now you know how writing code has become very simple. It's also become you need to understand the logic and you need to give a proper context or a proper comment. That's all. So we can use it to write. Uh, just go back slide. Yeah. So writing code. Okay. So we did writing code. Now what I will do, validation also we can do. We just need to write the validations. It will create the validations for those. Now with that also we can do documentation. Code documentation is one of the very important. So let me first complete my service class. So I have interface here. So uh, what I need the interface, I can just let me. Most of the time it will suggest automatically what are the interface required for this class. Guess if it is not suggesting, we can write a create interfaces. CR. Okay, give me that. Just keep on everything that suggest category tags and so on. So if we need more, we can just select and keep on continuing. So I need to use the model. That's it. We can do this one. Now, most of the time what I'm doing, I'm writing the command here. We can use here conversational concept also. So here, whatever I need, I can write the command here. Based on that also it can create. So I'll not go here first now. First, let me complete this what I'm in the middle of that. Now I have this services also. So what I just need to do, I'll just click. Yeah. So all my articles are already done. Check what it is. Okay, I need a common services. Okay. Now here also I need to get the differences. So I'm using this, and almost my things are done. Now some of the properties might not be same, so we just need to check why it is not active. Let me say I article does not contain the definition of get. Okay, let me check. So I don't have I article decoin. If you know, let me check if it is there. And I might need to add those commands there as well. It's already blank only. So what I can do, I can just delete this all, and I can just I have to create. Actually, we went in different way. Actually, we should have created first the interface of this all repo, and then we have to go and create this one. Then it is more accurate. I'll just okay. So continue. So this is how we will be able to generate the aim is here to show you how we can generate the code. So it's already there. So the one two code two interface I created is already there. So create let me time to if I keep on it, it will suggest whatever differences it is all and so on. So that case if you see most of my methods are also implemented now all done. So my almost all the services repository, DB context, all the classes are created without writing much code. I just need to give some proper command. So that's how we will be able to write the command. Now code documentation is very important when it comes to the coding, because um, as a developer I also feel very lazy sometimes to do the code documentation. So what we can use GitHub Copilot just to do the code documentation. I can write here. So this time I'm doing this one, GitHub Copilot Chat. Even we can use here also we can do. So let me just ask, right, and I'll give it. This is my article service. Check what it is doing. So what I did, I asked slash and then doc, which means it will do the documentation of this class. And yeah, you can see it is doing the documentation of entire class. So what I can do, I can simply go here. So my all the document code documentation is here. Now we can do the preview and get the code if we want to replace our existing code. So let me go below preview. So this preview will give the option, okay, how it looks like different from our original methods. So it has done nothing change, just added the code documentation. I will just accept it. Yeah, my code documentation is done. Now, if we want to produce high quality code, especially when we call code quality, code standard, it is very important to have a unit test. Unit test is very important for any code in order to validate it, to make sure that it is following the proper process, our code is efficient and so on. So for that also, it's very simple. If we put slash, this is a command, so I can choose like list, and for which class I want, for I can just put this article. Now it has created a mock, and it is explaining. Now at last it has given me the code also. It has given the proper name of that class, fact. So it has write all the test case for that class. So insert a new file, and that's how. So it has given me step by step also. First, set up a mockup repository, create a mock version of this I and use the test. Get a test article in sync method and verify it returns the collect. It has explained me all how it has done the all the test cases. So and sample code also. Sample means it's not a sample. You can exactly use the same code for mock. So that's how you will be able to create a test cases. Now another few important things are there. Now I'll go. I have already some utilities methods are here. I just randomly created these functions and asked Chat GPT to intentionally create me some kind of um, poor code, incorrect functions, some functions which are not optimized, so that I can use and so for this demonstration purpose. Okay, so now I want to optimize this process. So let me check. One of my tester reported that this factorial function is giving incorrect value. Now what I can do, I can just simply then report it is that this function is incorrect. So what I'll go here, I'll select it and I'll ask, okay, copilot slash fix. It's better to explain what you want to fix. For me, I am just asking to fix it randomly, but it is better to explain fix these things. So it can fix exactly what we are looking for now. But I gave overall, okay, fix it if there is anything wrong. So you can see that AI has identified this is the factorial. Factorial is equal to n into n minus 1. And here we can see the factorial was incorrect. So I can fix my bug here. So I'll just accept it. Now my bugs are fixed. Now another one thing I'll ask here. Is there any way to optimize this code? Let me check if it can suggest. Let's see. I fixed this code now. I'm asking my Copilot. Okay, can we optimize this one? So let me check. Yeah, it has suggested me the optimization. Okay, factorial result. Now what explanation? The original code uses recursion to calculate the factorial of a number. Recursion can be inefficient for large values of n because it involves the multiple functions call stack and stack operation. In optimized code, I replace. I mean, it has now optimized this code. I just removed it. Let me just ask again. Class optimize. So we can ask from here. We can even use this GitHub Copilot from here as well. Both will do the same job. Now what I can do here, preview it and accept it. So now my code is optimized as well. Now coding in terms of writing the code, it is very important to follow the naming convention proper in order to bring a quality code. Now here this is one function. So this function what is max, and it has done the sum function. So what I can ask here, and follow the naming convention. Naming, check what it is. Find max. So the actual function, what it is doing here is, let's say what is max is not a correct name for this function, so it is suggesting better to use find max. Okay, with that also it will suggest the code optimization which it can explain, because okay, rename the name, rename the parameter nums to numbers, and there are several other optimization it has done. So simply I'll preview it and accept it. Now my question, my code has been followed standard naming conventions and so on. So likewise, I have another function. So this is how we will be able to optimize our function, and also we can improve the performance. So there is one function I have, which is most of the time this is a manual log function. What it is doing, it is understanding the layer name, class name, method, and it is writing those all into a kind of text file. Now I can ask GitHub Copilot. Let me ask. Now this time I'll use this. Okay, so I want, and I'll use log message and error log error. Now let me see. So GitHub Copilot will read this code, and it will explain me also. So let's let it complete, then we can go and double check what it is explaining to us. Yeah, let it finish first. Okay, now I'll go up. I went to up. Now here what it has done, it has explained me the code. The logger method is a class designed to log the message text in this API block. Let it break down how this method works step. So it has a layer name, it has given me the what it has done, And the process, what it has done, first it is creating the directory and so on, all the coding steps is there, and writing log. It has explained me the code very well, and also it has explained me how exception is handled. Now it has also given me some issues and recommendation, performance concern. So it is always reading all the file and rewriting, which will impact hugely if the file goes larger. Resource management, this method is using this and this without using statement explicitly calling dispose. So recommended to use using so that it will dispose. Date format, and then append. So it has some optimization problem. So what we can do here, optimize tag. Uh, Third, let me check how GitHub Copilot Chat can help me to optimize the code. It is using, and okay, now it has optimized the code. It has also given what it has optimized and how it has even managed the resource. So many optimizations values it has entered. Same thing I can do from here as well. Ask. So simply I can pull. In this case I don't need to specify the file and the method name because I'm asking directly for this method. So I can ask simply optimize. So in this case we can see it has optimized the code, and it will also explain what are the things it has optimized. Let me just remove this part here. We don't need this for now. So it has mentioned all the optimization options. It has optimized in 6 point. So let me check how this code works. I'll just review it. Yeah. If you see, it has reduced lots of line of code from my existing code. Oh, almost more than I think 50 lines. So you can see like it has optimized my code. It has reduced the line of code, and the code is much efficient now. It has considered the resource, um, efficiency and performance. That's how we will be able to optimize the code also. So this is how we will be able to we can use GitHub Copilot in order to write the code, to validate it, to document it, to rectify it, to fix the bugs, to create the unit test case, to improve the code quality as well as performance. And you know, all these are a lot of things for the developers. Now, if we are using GitHub Copilot in our daily basis software development, you know, we will be able to save huge time. We will be able to optimize our code much better way, and many way we it will help us, you know, to get relief from many you know, repeated tasks that most of the developer don't like to do, like documentation or writing unit test cases. So these are some of the applications that I can say, and so some real I created a real project and I did most of the things those are we are using in our day-to-day code in daily basis. Saying this, I'll go back to my presentation. Yeah. So we did the demo for all these items. Uh, we did demo. Now there are something that I want to highlight. Um, you know, all these AI copilots or AI tools or AI bot or AI application is trained on some of the data and they are learning from there. So it is very important to provide the feedback. Now, if you see most of the copilot, when it was suggesting, there was one option to like or dislike. That is what we can help to improve the copilot. So if you like, what it will understand, okay, this is helpful for us. If we dislike, then it will use that as a training to them. Okay, maybe this is not a efficient code, or I did not reply the efficient answers what was asked. So in order to that, they will try to different approach, and that will be giving the feedback. So it's very important for us to give the feedback. Not only here, there are several forums also available for GitHub. We can go and provide our feedback so that, you know, the one who is working for this tool can take that feedback and modify it, right? For diverse nature of software development. Yeah, so I did this only for some of the possible boilerplate code, but it's better if we can use it for different nature by creating encryption, creating decryption method, and using for different languages, so that it will learn what we are trying to do, what developers actually they are looking for, and it will learn from there as well, and be a specific and provide the clear context. So most of the time you saw like I was giving a very short command. It is very important if we give the clear specific, to be more specific will give more better response. Keep the prompts on the topic. For example, if we are writing the code on C sharp and developing some functions, we should ask our question according to what we are developing right now. But if we ask here, okay, we are writing the code crude operation for one application, and we'll ask something different, okay, what will be the benefit of using something which is not relevant with that project, will not give you the proper response. So it is not recommended to use that, and then also it will not give you the proper response. Use it as a developer tool, not a replacement, which is most of the tech folks are afraid, okay, it might um, replace the developer in the future. It won't, but it will be used as a tool for the developers. Yeah, obviously the expectation from the management will be higher, like maybe the task which is done by one developers right now, like let's say 10 developers, management will expect, okay, same thing should be able to be done by one or two developers, because now you have a tool to do the things faster. And yeah, obviously there will be more use of AI in writing the code, so the developers might need to think different. I mean, conventional way of writing code will be replaced. You choose secure code and code review. Okay, so this GitHub Copilot is always suggesting based on some of its training, what it has done. It is trained based on the public repository. It is always very important to check and secure the code and review the code as a developer. Though it is suggesting optimizing the code, we should have a second eye to check the security as well as review the code. Always stay up to date. I mean, it Copilot is coming with different fixes and different packages. It is coming time to time. So what we need to do, we need to update our extension according to that. Also, the code and validation and optimization is another option, so we can use it for optimization. And also sometimes we should suggest, okay, this is not the approach, better optimize, can you suggest me something more? And sometimes it can give you some inaccurate code also, because since it is suggesting, it might not understand your command, or it might give you sometime the code which might not be correct. So that's okay, we should just dislike it, so that it will be considered as one of the feedback. And yeah, we need to think another few consideration. This is the AI copilot that will help you to write the code, but you are the you are the main pilot, which means you are the one who are going to decide whether that code is accurate, it is optimized, and so on. You need to check the security risks. We need to check the uh, public, since it has matched from the public code, we need to check um, the things that we need to check. Inaccurate code can be sometime problem, inaccurate response to non-coding topics, and coding standard. Sometime we might need to ask, okay, it might not follow the coding standard of your organization. So these are some of the things that you have to consider, and we need to come up with some different kind of approach in order to solve those. That's all from my side, and if you have any questions, you can just type in the Q&A from your session, so you will have option to ask the question. I'll just double check if there are any queries. Yeah, so if there are any queries, you may can post here, or even if you have any queries considering the time, you may can reach us to us in our contact is shared here. So you may can reach us via LinkedIn, and you can also join our meetups to learn more about different AI topics, trends, software. So mostly we will be coming some topics related with uh, technology, contemporary technology, and we will be doing different talks, so on. So you can join our group and so on. So saying this one, I would like to thank you for our attendees who has attended these sessions. We will be discussing more on those kind of topics. We have explained what is GitHub Copilot and what are different kinds of copilots are there. Each copilots have their own responsibilities and in train on its specific data, so it serves particular purpose. And GitHub Copilot is especially for the developers who are writing the code. It has a different option starting with writing code, documentation, fixings, explaining, optimizations, and so on. Saying that, I would like to thank you, and we will end the session here.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, all attendees. Thank
Thank you,
you. Bye
Satya.
bye.